Hello, it's Tea Tuesday, and today I have some iced tea. So I've been trying to use up my enormous tea stash. I don't want to totally deplete it, but sometimes you try teas and you don't like them as well as other times. And so what I've been trying to do is just the teas that are not my favorites, I try and combine those with other teas and I make an iced tea out of it. And then I put raspberry syrup in it and some sweetener of your choice, whether that's maple syrup or sugar or other sweetener. I can't use Splenda, it messes up my gut. So I like the little packets of, I think it's Whole Earth. Anyway, they're way more expensive than sugar, but sometimes when it comes to your health, you just have to pay a little more. And that also goes for vegan prepped meals and meats and cheeses. I mean, for a little block of, cheese, vegan cheese, it's like $5. And there's not a whole lot of nutrition in vegan cheese. So I bought a bunch of vegan cheeses quite a while ago. Actually, it was a few months ago. And I sort of have been eating my way through it, and I still have a couple of blocks of it, slices of it, and they're all tasty, and I like them. But like I said, there's not a whole lot of nutrition in them. So for instance, here's some of the vegan cheeses. I like Follow Your Heart cheese myself, the non-dairy cheese, and I also like BioLife. I think those two companies really make some tasty cheeses. But for instance, this dairy-free feta crumbles by Follow Your Heart, it's really, really tasty, and I like putting this on a salad. But there's absolutely no protein in it. Um, it has saturated fat 30%, sodium 270 milligrams, and 4 grams of carbohydrates. And one serving size is 80 calories. So is it tasty? Absolutely. Is there a whole lot of nutrition in it? No, you're not going to get any protein, but I'm going to continue to eat them. But what I want to do is start making more of my own cheeses. I have um, several cookbooks of vegan cheeses, and so I'm going to try and make my own because, like I said, these are very expensive. Now, the Parmesan, which is also very tasty, has no protein, 2% carbs, and total fat is 9%, and saturated fat is 15%. So, and sodium is 20%, and this has 90 calories. So again, very, very tasty, but not a whole lot in the nutrition family. So, and there are recipes out there to make all these cheeses. Now, I do like the Follow Your Heart provolone. And again, no protein, none whatsoever. And at least if you make your own vegan cheeses, if you make them with cashews or almonds or whatever, you're going to get some protein and some nutrition. So after I use these up, I'm definitely not going to throw these out because, like I said, these are expensive and I bought all of them a long time ago. So I do want to use them up because they are tasty. Then I have this Violet Parmesan cheese, and it is 100% vegan. And again, this does have 1 gram of protein, which is not that great. It does have some B12, 30%. Again, fat and 80 calories per serving. So again, now this is a hard cheese that you would grate. They taste fantastic, but again, not much in the way of nutrition. And then I showed this in one of my hauls, and it's a great big bag, and I have to freeze this so it doesn't go bad. But this is from Costco. They carried it. And again, no protein at all, and 30% saturated fat and 11% sodium. So basically, what you're getting, I mean, it does have some carbs, 6 grams, which is 2%. So basically, you're getting fat and salt. So I don't know, prepared dairy cheese, probably not the healthiest. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the cheese and what my plans are. So if you can, make your own dairy cheese, non-dairy cheese, it'd probably be a good thing. So, and if I come across any good recipes, and like I said, I want to start making some recipes with vegan cheeses, and so I'll share those with you. But anyway, I've been sort of cooking my way through my pantry and my freezer and refrigerator, which are all totally packed. I've been doing this for months. And as I use things, if I use, let's say I make vegetable soup and I use a bag of vegetables or vegetables from my garden and I cook up a meal, then I really don't have any less other than what I eat. And then I have meals to freeze. So I don't know. But I'm not complaining because God has blessed me with more than an abundance of food. But if you're struggling, and, please contact your food bank. I can't remember if the help number is 211 or 311 for help. Don't be ashamed to ask, because nobody should be hungry in this day and age, not in this country. Not anywhere, but especially in this country. So this tea is yummy. I don't even remember what I put in here, but like I said, I'm taking different teas and I'm combining them and making iced tea out of it, and it's really tasty. And then that way I know, okay, I don't like this tea, I won't buy it again. I really like this tea, I'm going to continue to buy it, because nowadays, and I know the supply chain is all messed up, and some of the, depending on where you live, some of the places really are very low on stock. We have so many choices of everything. Think about it. Cereals. There's a whole line of cereals. Alcohol. Even alcohol, coffees. There's 20 different flavors plus teas. You get to the point where you're overwhelmed with so many choices. And I've been on this planet for a while, and I don't ever remember so many choices back in the day. I'm starting to sound like a grandma, aren't I? But anyway, sometimes too many choices is just as bad as too few choices, because you get overwhelmed and then you don't make a choice at all. You just sort of freeze and go, oh, I don't know what to choose. So one of the reasons I don't like going grocery shopping is because there's too many choices out there. But I remember when I first started, this is probably going on 10 years, when I first started plant-based, vegan-ish diet. It's always plant-based, but not always vegan, because I do use some eggs and dairy. But back 10 years ago, there was never any vegan cheese that you could find. There was never, hardly, you had a section this big in one of the coolers of plant-based foods. But nowadays, the choices are much more available. It's because more people are becoming aware of the planet and the animals. And I'm not making this into a, a soapbox, but I'm just saying the difference in the choices now and then is really uh, way more available now. But it is still so expensive. If you go to Dollar Tree and buy a little block of cheese for $1, no way are you going to find a little block of dairy cheese or non-dairy cheese for $1. It just doesn't exist. So that's another reason why I want to start making some of my own cheeses. But even if you buy the cashews, they're very expensive. I bought some organic raw cashews at Costco when I bought the cheese, and the container was $17. Now that's going to last me quite a while, but it's not cheap, even to make dairy cheese, non-dairy cheese. I keep saying dairy cheese, to make non-dairy cheese. And I know a lot of people are lactose intolerant. So, for health reasons, if they don't want to feel terrible, they can't consume dairy, whether it's dairy ice cream or dairy, milk or cheese or whatever. And even ice cream. I mean, you can buy a carton of dairy ice cream for a couple dollars, $2, $3. But the vegan ice cream, it's like this big and it's $4 or $5. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So that's why I like to learn to make my own homemade things, and I don't want to buy that much processed food anymore. So I won't buy any more or this much vegan cheese anymore because it's, first of all, it's too expensive. And secondly, there's not a whole lot of nutrition with it. You get flavor, I can't debate that. You certainly get flavor, but you do not get a whole lot of nutrition. So I've been thinking about that. And if you don't cook, um, you know, it might be a good idea if you just started with some basic plain food. Get yourself a bunch of spices, whatever you like, whatever your favorite spices are. And not everything needs to be very spiced up. Some people like very plain food. My father-in-law, when he was alive, he never put dressing on his salads. He ate them plain. My mother-in-law, everything she cooked had to be plain, but that's what he liked. So maybe you're better off, eating that way. I don't know. It certainly would be cheaper. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about vegan cheese today, non-dairy cheese. And you don't have to be a vegan to eat non-dairy cheese. Like I said, a lot of people are lactose intolerant and they just want the flavor of cheese, but it's really not the healthiest. So, yep, I don't know. This is a conglomeration of, I know it has chamomile and it has some fruit teas in it, but I find that almost any tea that I make, if I put my sweetener and the raspberry syrup in it, it always is tasty. So that's my tea for today. So how about you guys? Do you eat the vegan cheeses? Do you eat dairy cheese? Um, what's your preference? Have you tried making vegan cheeses? Have you been successful? If you have been, share it in the comments below. Share your thoughts, what you think. Um, and that's pretty much all I have today. Boy, sometimes when I talk, I can't believe how fast the time goes by. It seemed like I just started this video and I'm going on 15 minutes already. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to talk about vegan cheese and the cost of vegan groceries, plant-based groceries. You're probably better off just to stick with the basics, basic vegetables, basic starches, um, basic proteins. That's what I've been trying to do. And I'm going to have a video coming out about vegan or a vegetarian protein, you might want to think about every once in a while cutting back a little bit on the meat, because I know it's gotten outrageously expensive. Every once in a while I'll look and see how much it is a pound, and it's like, oh my God, that's terrible. So maybe consider going, you know, start out with one day and then maybe do 2 or 3 days of a plant-based meal instead of, always a meat-based meal. I know in Germany, my mom used to tell me, this was, during the war and the Depression. She went through all that because she's 92. And she said meat was like, forget it. You're not going to eat meat every day. Um, you got maybe a tiny, tiny little ration of meat once a week, and that would go to the man of the family because he's the one that had to go out and work and be strong, and and they had to stretch that meat, make it into soups and stews, and you know um, and the women and children just sort of stayed back and let their man have the protein because he was the one that needed to go out and make a living and support his family. So I hope to God we don't go that direction again. It's happened to other countries, but let's all just keep saying prayers that it doesn't happen here. So that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. Abundant blessings. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself and others. God bless you, and I'll see you next Tea Tuesday. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.